Now, I know I can't be the only one who noticed it, right? I want y'all to watch this video very closely, and I want y'all to tell me, what do you notice different about Donald Trump's Secret Service security detail tonight? Let's check out this entourage, and I want y'all to let me know what's different. Anybody notice the difference? I mean, I don't mind you rewinding, running up the view time on this video and going and double check. But I spare you, he didn't have any woman in the security detail tonight. Now, you do with that information what you will, but my guy, he came in that thing, said, look, dog, we're gonna have to make sure every corner is covered. And yeah, I doubt that anything is gonna ever pop off after something that tried to after the assassination attempt. But this goes to show you the courage and I'm sorry, I'm about to say the word, the balls that this man has. Seriously, everybody that's suffering from TDS is looking at Trump with disgust and anger, and obviously, very insensitive and very inhumane in their responses, saying things like, oh, they shouldn't have missed, and oh, I wish they wouldn't have missed. Just very, very, also insinuating that this was planned and we know somebody had lost their life. Man, disappointed in y'all. But anyhow, I gotta show y'all this clip. CNN's Chris Wallace even had to admit today that President Trump's RNC interest that we just seen was the most electric moment he has ever witnessed while covering political conventions dating back all the way to 1964. Dang, that was a year after my OG was born.
Winston Churchill famously said, "Nothing in life is so exhilarating as to be shot at without effect." And you could see that today. The idea that just hours ago, a few days ago, this man, an assassin's bullet whizzed by him, hit him in the ear, inches from his temple. It'd be just by the slightest fraction of an inch. He survived, shot at without effect, and you can see the joy of this crowd. I got to tell you, somebody who's been covering these conventions since 1964, that may have been the most electric moment I ever saw. That was quite extraordinary.
I'm starting to see tweets, and definitely in the comments, people saying that they was crying when this all was going on. And I gotta admit, when I seen them come in, I had chills just running up and down my body, bro. Like, for real, just watching what I witnessed, just 3 days ago to right now, it's after midnight now, but just 3 days ago, what I witnessed live, terrified, like, whoa. And to see him standing tall, walking in, and that also goes to show you the kahunas he got, bro. He's sitting there like, look, I just got popped the other day, but I'm still out and about. That goes to show you just the strength of that man, because I imagine, man, somebody like myself, I'm trying to stay at the hotel tonight for the next couple of weeks. I don't even want to be out in public. Might even be a little nervous, just for a little while, just dealing with the trauma that somebody actually tried to take your life. But this man right here is like, look, I ain't got time to even be traumatized by that. I gotta keep it moving. Revolutionary stuff right here, man. But he looks pretty tired. You could tell that he's under a lot of stress, understandably so. That's why we got to continue to pray for him. God bless this man. God bless Donald Trump. And, none of this changes their view of Chris Wallace tonight either, by the way. I think it's safe to say that he still severely suffers from TDS. Now, they tried to clown my man Trump, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all this. The Art of Dialogue. They tried to clown my man Trump, bro. So what they did was they said Donald Trump was sleeping at the Republican National Convention. They tried to say he pulled a Sleepy Joe.
He is asleep.
He wrote the strength of that book that he wrote, and then
just taking a little nap.
Peter Thiel's pet senator once he got there
during the Republican National Convention.
Yeah, he's basically just been working for Silicon Valley ever since he got here.
Good Lord!
For the people who he wrote this moving book about, in terms of his own background, I mean that's very.
Wake up, Donald.
That's going to stick to him.
Donald, wake up.
Ohio Senator
Donald, wake up.
Candidate.
Wake up, Donald.
In 2016, when he was
Mr. Trump.
comparing Donald
Wake up,
Trump
Mr.
to
Trump. Mr. Trump.
This particular
Mr. Trump, you need to wake up, sir.
days ago, my wife and
Sir,
I
the camera's on you.
volunteering
You're on the
in the
Jumbotron.
garden in our San
Wake up,
Francisco-
sir. You're running for
And
president.
it goes on from there. Now,
Oh,
if that was
good morning.
Harris's description of how she
There we
spent her
go.
San Francisco weekends, you'd kind of like
Upsy-daisy.
Thinking y'all gonna catch my man slipping even after he just got, you know what I'm saying? Like, dawg, you know what I mean? Nice try, but they were actually praying. They were legit praying right there. I'm reading the comments right now. Guys, they were praying, take it down. L post, laughing emoji. And this post has become quite the laughing emoji. Not upsy daisy, LMFAO. What a joke. America is doomed either way. Somebody else wrote, and that's the problem right there. People will see stuff out of context like this, believe it, and just keep it moving. Won't even care to find out the truth. So then what happens is they'll go, when somebody says something like Sleepy Joe, they'll be, oh, well, he was asleep here. And it's like, dog, he wasn't asleep, he was praying. And then they go, man, whatever, anyway. And that's what creates the problem in civil discourse right there. It's like you finding out the truth, and yeah, you still refuse to acknowledge it. So yeah, you got mixed comments too coming up in here. I think he's praying, LOL. Somebody said, I think anybody running over 70 shouldn't be running for the president, to be the president. Bet you the media will not say anything about it. Somebody else wrote. So you can see that there's differences. And if you don't know, Donald Trump finally announced his vice president. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed. I'm not too familiar with JD Vance. I just followed him on Twitter, just off of the strength. But I don't know too much about him personally. I know that he's the senator in Ohio, Christian man, a husband, a father. So those basic things about him. But other than that, I don't know too much about his intention, anything like that. But Glenn Youngkin posted at RNC. Today, we proudly cast our Virginia delegate votes to the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and Vice President J.D. Vance. So that he's definitely getting his warm welcome today.
Madam Secretary, on behalf of the great Commonwealth of Virginia, named last week by CNBC as America's top place to do business. Home to 850,000 of the greatest Americans, our military and veteran heroes. Home to Washington, Madison, Monroe, the first governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, the voice of liberty, Patrick Henry, and home to Thomas Jefferson, who penned the most immortal words that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they're endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Proudly, as Governor of Virginia, along with our great chairman of the Republican Party of Virginia, Rich Anderson, we cast our delegate votes for the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and his vice president, J.D. Vance.
Also, at the Republican National Convention, or I'm gonna just say RNC convention, or RNC, anyhow. We had Amber Rose. She was a previous well-known feminist whom has evolved in her stance with politics since everything has been going on. And she was up there and she was speaking, and people are talking about how they're impressed. especially given that she's somebody who's come from, you know, the left side of things, who transitioned to the right, you know, somebody who I totally understand that resonate with me, you know, as somebody who's done it myself. But Matt Walsh had a very odd response to it. We're going to talk about that after we watch this video.
My entire family is racially diverse, and I believe the left-wing propaganda that Donald Trump was a racist. My father said, "No, he's not, Amber. What are you talking about?" And when I insisted, he said, "Prove it." So to prove my father wrong, I did my research and looked into all things Donald Trump. People have to do their research. I watched all the rallies, and I started meeting so many of you, his red hat wearing supporters.
Yes, sir.
I realized Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love.
That's right. Be you.
And that's when it hit me. These are my people. This is where I belong.
That's right.
So I let go of my fear of judgment, of being misunderstood, of getting attacked by the left, and I put the red hat on too. Thank you. Love you too. I never felt more free and more love for my country than I do now. I want to thank my father, who's in the audience tonight, for opening my eyes. He served over 20 years in the U.S. military. Thank you for your service, Dad. I love
Much
you,
love
Dad.
and respect.
I love you. I love you so much. Thank you. When I met the president and Melania for the first time, he was kind and generous and funny as hell. Very funny. The First Lady was gracious and smart with a smile that will brighten up any room. If you're watching this tonight, you know our country is in trouble. Just like me. When you go to the store and buy food for your family, you're shocked. When you fill up your gas tank, you're pissed. I know I am.
Preach now. She preaching now. You need an organ in
And
the
when
back.
you turn on the news, you are just exhausted. Inflation is out of control. And you know in your heart it was not like this under Donald Trump.
You know it, man.
My message to you tonight comes from a humble place. The left told me to hate Trump, and even worse, to hate the other side, the people who support him. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president.
There you go, facts.
We were safer, wealthier, and stronger. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to put money back in our pockets and good food on our kids' plates. Yes.
Need me some good food, y'all. I'm starved.
Or, as Trump would say, it's a vote to make America great again. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Wow. You know, it's pretty cool that everybody who got off of the Democrat plantation, who previously had TDS, our stories are pretty much the same. It starts off from pure hatred, blonde zombie-like hatred for this man because, you know, you've been taught to hate him. And then you get challenged to prove your hatred for him and why it's valid. And you end up going, oh, yeah, maybe I was wrong about this. Anyhow, remember I told y'all Matt Walsh responded to this. I'll tell y'all exactly what he said. He wrote, the RNC gives a primetime speaking slot to a pro-abortion feminist and self-proclaimed slut with a face tattoo whose only claim to fame is having intercourse with rappers. truly an embarrassment. Not a single voter will be mobilized by this person. And yeah, definitely, you know, I've definitely had my response to this. I definitely like to read a few responses. Common sense custodian, a little harsh, man. Let's accept everyone, he responded with. We also have George, my dog, says, you might not like what Matt just said, but it's true. Also, if I just got saved from an assassination by Jesus, I would not want to be hearing words from an internet 304. So why did the RNC do this to Trump? Do I sound harsh in my judgment? Indeed, but I am judging righteously. If I had a male equivalent of her lifestyle, I pray no one platforms me until I turn my life to Jesus. I'll just have to say I totally just disagree. 100% disagree. I get where you're going with this. You're saying that you don't want somebody of her past to represent, you know, your beliefs and things of that nature. You don't want them to be the forefront of it, especially after something that took place with Donald Trump. But personally, I'm just like, man, you know, if you're a Christian and you go to church, the Bible says, you know, come as you are, you know, so I would accept it with the flaws and all. The biggest thing is the fact that she was there, and she was there to push something positive and also speak to those whom we may not be able to reach, you know, those other 304s or whatever the case. But respectfully disagree, man. You were definitely entitled and to your opinion and things of that nature. But yeah, we got Xavier right here who has a response. Let's go ahead and hear what he has to say.
Hi, Matt Walsh. Respectfully, I'm here at the RNC convention, and I need you to walk with me over here. So let's have a conversation. I want to just point out to you the ignorance of what you just did, because if we're going to be honest for a second, we talk about all the time how we want celebrities to, you know, to have common sense, to speak the truth, and to get their audience to think. Not tell their audience what to think, but to get their audience to think. So here you have Amber Rose, someone who has been famous for decades now, telling her audiences to think for themselves and to look into conservative values and to hear it out. And instead of embracing that you are being a hater and a troll, yes, Amber Rose is very open about the fact that she used to be a far leftist, but now she's realized how many of the lies she bought into from the far left. So no, instead of condemning her and shaming her about her past, maybe you should look into what it was that opened up her mind so that you can convince people to think for themselves as well, instead of turning them away from the right.
Yeah, so I totally get it. You know what I mean? And that's, I share the same sentiment. Definitely. It's just like, yo, here we have opportunity to bring more ears and more listeners and more minds towards the truth, and bring them there by telling them to go seek it for themselves. I get that Amber Rose may not be everybody's cup of tea and all that, but she's somebody with a platform who's spreading a positive message, not just a message saying that she's pro-Trump, but beyond that, saying that, hey, go do your own research, go think for yourselves at a critical moment like this. You will want, we're not trying to turn away anybody, you know, and it's just like this. Maybe in certain examples, other examples, I'll probably go, you know, maybe we can have that conversation and stuff like this, but for this particular instance, I don't see what's wrong with it. I don't see how this could put a stain on Donald Trump's reputation in any kind of way. Somebody who's openly supporting Donald Trump unapologetically. But that's just my opinion. Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today.